Yeah, I mean, Coach Norvell, he's a winner. And, his resume speaks that. Being at Memphis, I mean, he turned that whole program around. And, he's so driven and passionate. He's always calling me. And I know he's always calling all of his recruits. And, he lives like a champion each and every day. And you can really see it, on the field. And, like I said, in meetings and stuff. And he lives like a champion. It really speaks volumes.
Hey guys, it's Terrence Nan. You're listening to Hear the Spear, presented by NoleGameday. Go Noles.
Hey, what's up? This is Peter Ward, a.k.a. P-Dub, in the house. We're listening to Hear the Spear, presented by NoleGameday. Go live, go Noles.
Hi, this is Charlie Ward, and you're listening to Hear the Spear, Go Noles.
This is Terrell Buckley. You're listening to Hear the Spear, presented by NoleGameday. No Bloody.
But perhaps better known as the greatest corner to ever step on a football field, Deion Primetime Sanders.
Great Deion Sanders, my brother. What's going on, man? I could wake up to that greeting every day, man. That was awesome.
Hello, Noles fans. This is former Seminole Derek Brooks, and you're listening to Hear the Spear, presented to you by NoleGameday.
James Wilder Jr. What's going on, James?
Thanks for having me on. FSOD, Florida State or Die, and go Noles.
William Bar None Floyd.
Gentlemen, what's up?
What's happening, guys? This is Logan from Hear the Spear, presented to you by NoleGameday. We are here on Tuesday evening, July 7th. We are going to have a big-time guest on with us later in the show. FSU 2021 four-star quarterback commit Luke Altmyer is here to answer me, Nate, and Dustin's question. We talk about why he committed to Florida State, obviously. We talk about Mike Norvell, Coach Gillingham, guys that he is currently recruiting, trying to bring into Tribe 21, and future guys. Also a little bit of offensive line talk. Guys he's also trying to recruit there, and also the Elite 11 that he just got done competing in. And then to top it off at the end, we talk about what he wants to work and improve on during his senior year that is upcoming for him in a couple months. For the rest of the show, we talk about some of the FSU players that have put on some weight, some guys that have lost some pounds too. Coach Storms is killing it this offseason. Also going to give our thoughts on the Patrick Mahomes contract. We're also going to go over the 247 Sports preseason ACC poll that was just released. And then we're going to end it off with some FSU trivia, some bad dad jokes. Austin is also going to run through a little bit of basketball updates. But I think that's going to be it. As always, you can listen to this podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play, also YouTube. Subscribe on all those platforms so you'll be notified every time we go live. With me this evening is the usual cats, Dustin Lewis, our lead writer and editor, along with Austin Beasy, our lead basketball writer. What's happening this evening, guys?
I feel like I'm listening to NPR right now.
Dude, I think I just killed it. I'll be honest. I got to give like a pat on the back to myself. I think that was the first time it's gone that smoothly for me in a couple weeks.
Yeah, you weren't talking too loud or anything.
I think I'm on a roll. I think I might need to get a job working in like the Storage Wars and being like the auctioneer. I think my voice was pretty clean doing that and pretty quick.
What do you think about his voice, Austin? Oh.
No chance.
Alrighty, Austin doesn't see a future for me in Storage Wars, so there goes that. I should pull my application then.
There's not much of a future for anyone in Storage Wars, bud.
In the Storage Wars? We couldn't hear you there, buddy. What'd you say?
There's not much of a future for anyone in Storage Wars.
You're very accurate on that one right there. I'll give you that. Is it bad? I mean, can I just say that my aunt was an auctioneer in that show, though? A lot of people probably don't know that, but she was actually a decent star on that show. Like, we're on A&E or whatever. She was the auctioneer, so maybe that's who I get it from.
I don't know if you're being serious or not.
I'm being completely serious. Out in LA, I'm being completely serious. So yeah, that's a fun fact for me.
Well, you've got connections.
Thank you, Dustin. I want to state in here real quick before we get started too. I saw a review on our Apple podcast, which definitely appreciate you guys. If you guys would like to, definitely the 5 stars help, along with leaving reviews. It helps, and this is why it's going to help too. I've got a I guess a complaint, but there was some audio issues, and I believe the last episode, I think that's going to be fixed up. Editing different audio intervals with phones and then also Skype, it can mess around a little bit, but I think we're going to invest, at least on my end, invest in a new mic and everything, so maybe some things will be a little bit smoother, because trust me, I get pissed off at the freaking audio problems sometimes, so hopefully things will be smoothed out. So definitely appreciate the person who put the 5-star review on there and also left that review letting us know, because that was something that we need to change. Can't be annoying people while in the car, right, Dustin?
I mean, Logan, that's normally what you do on this podcast.
I just annoy people.
I know it's what you excel at.
Jeez, Austin comes out of nowhere.
Second thing he said all podcast.
Yeah.
Probably all that it will be. Now, there's a little bit of basketball in there, and he likes a little bit of NFL, so there might be a few things. He's not going to talk, though, when I talk about weight gains, but that's Austin.
I'll roll my eyes. That's it. That's all you'll get from me.
I know you will. Well, let's jump right into it, and then we'll get Luke on here in just a few minutes after our top 3 worst segment, which this week is going to be top 3 worst pizza toppings, so it could get pretty interesting. Patrick Mahomes, money. Biggest sports contract in history, over $500 million, over half, and it could be worth up to $503 million, but the deal is worth $450 over the 10-year period. The extension includes a $140 million injury guarantee, as well as a no trade clause. Man, oh man. So I'm a Steelers fan, and obviously this is a Florida State podcast, but man, when things like this happen, and if you just like football, either way, I mean, this is just nuts, or sports even. A potential $500 million contract for a quarterback. And I'm a Steelers fan, and I've had to deal with Patrick Mahomes a few times, and it's not that fun. But man, oh man, what are y'all's initial thoughts on this signing? This is gigantic.
Yeah, I mean, just
that's really all it is. He brought Kansas City a Super Bowl, and he's still 23. He's the best quarterback in the NFL already. Won an MVP, won a Super Bowl MVP. I mean, he's worth it. If he's willing to stay there that long, yeah.
Just a wild deal. I mean, imagine having your next 11 years locked into the job you're at. I mean, I would love if it paid those wages, though.
Meanwhile, Dustin, do you have a job right now?
I'm in the market. I think a lot of us are.
I was before today. But now you're the only one on the podcast, so we got to get you back going on LinkedIn or something.
I've applied for a lot of jobs. I'm just, useless.
Useless?
Pretty much.
I won't say anything more to that. I will not say anything more to that. But yeah, that contract is gigantic, man. I do think he's worth a lot of money. Obviously, I hate seeing like people tagging like Deshaun Watson or whatever. Is it just me, or do I think that there's no way in hell? Like, some people are saying that, oh, wait till you see Deshaun Watson's. I'm like, sorry, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't know what drugs they're on, like the teammates and whatever, like hyping it up. Like, I don't know. I don't get the whole. I mean, I understand Deshaun Watson, this and that, but I don't see that happening.
This is how that conversation will go. Deshaun Watson is going to walk into Bill O'Brien's office. He's going to be like, look, I want more money than Patrick Mahomes has got. And then Bill O'Brien's going to trade him for a 6th-round draft pick the next day.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, like, for Watson if the per year is the same, but it's only like a 4 or 5 year contract. Yeah, he's not getting 10. I doubt he wants to be there for 10 years. It's Houston.
Yeah.
And who are Bill O'Brien.
Yeah. Who are the top 3 NFL quarterbacks right now? Just
Russell Wilson, Mahomes.
Jameis Winston, Christian Ponder,
Kirk Cousins.
He's coming back out of retirement.
E.J. Manuel's coming back too.
Charlie Ward said to make his NFL debut.
Who else? Who else are we missing? JJ Constantino's getting in there, right?
Right after Sean McGuire.
Oh yeah, Sean McGuire's got a big training camp ahead of him, doesn't he? Right? Oh man, is Marcus Mariota still playing football, or is he like off in Hawaii, like
He's with the
putting
Raiders.
flowers
He's
on people's
there.
head
He's
or
not really
something?
playing, but he's there.
He's with the Raiders.
Yeah.
That's good. Good for him. Has he ever cussed, do you think?
I don't think he's ever talked.
Yeah, has he like even chirped a word or like moved his face? Because whenever I like look at his face, like I feel like nothing moves. Like, does he open his mouth to breathe? I don't know. Just other than that, Marcus Mariota just irritates me. And he's having to compete with what's his name over there in Oakland?
Yeah, Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
Yeah. What a fun quarterback room that is.
I know Las Vegas fans are excited.
Yeah.
Great first year in the new city.
Yeah, and the new stadium too. And on your sideline, Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota. And Marcus Mariota is still not smiling. Jesus Christ, feel bad for them. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. Pretty big contract there, and Dustin just named all the Florida State quarterbacks that are better than, I guess, Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, I guess so. Jameis Winston. Put Jameis Winston up there. You want to talk some weight gains for some FSU players, Austin? Or do you want to leave that to me?
Absolutely not.
You don't want to? You sure?
I'm good.
No. Okay. I'll just handle it on my own. How about that?
Lead us off.
I'll lead us off, Dustin. I think Dustin likes these, so we'll tag team it. So it was released, the new roster update. A few guys, not everyone has been updated, but Florida State players and their weights and sometimes their heights have been updated. Starting off first, then this is obviously starts off huge. Shout out to Coach Storms for all this, but FSU running back Jashawn Corbin, obviously your Texas A&M running back transfer, he's up to 213, or he's up from 213 to 220, so he's put on 7 pounds. Does that give you any kind of worry at all, Dustin, or is that you're kind of cool with that? Do you think that's kind of heavy for him, or what do you think?
Well, I mean, we'll see how he looks at the start of the season. Obviously, he's coming off that hamstring injury, so we'll see if maybe the extra weight slows him down at all. But I think it could be good for him as a power back to be able to get through more tackles.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are kind of like worried about it a little bit. I wouldn't be. Definitely once fall or even the summer workouts begin, but definitely fall. I think some of these guys are going to shed some pounds either way.
I mean, when you've got middle linebackers at 250. It's not bad to have, a 220-pound running back on the roster every now and then.
Well, not at FSU, 250. And maybe it's getting there. Coach Storms is doing his thing, but we haven't seen one of those since what? Maybe Nick Moody, Christian Jones, maybe. Remember, your biggest one was Dontavius Jackson. And what was Dontavius Jackson, Dustin? 230,
325?
230 something, yeah.
What did you say, Austin? 335?
Yeah, he played that slow.
Austin's not saying much tonight, but when he does say something, it's worth listening to.
See, Austin, I knew this segment would work for you. Look at this. You're going to be put out on – you're going to go viral.
I doubt it.
All right, so next, freshman FSU quarterback Chubba Purdy. He comes into Florida State listed as 212 pounds. I think that's a pretty good size for him. Dustin, obviously, you look back and everybody's going to compare him to James Blackman. And James Blackman is, from what I've been told, is over 205 pounds. So he obviously still has more weight over James Blackman. But that's a pretty good size weight right there, Dustin. What do we got?
I mean, yeah, definitely for a true freshman. And I mean, you got to think Chuba Purdy and James Blackman have completely different frames. James Blackman, obviously, still a very slim guy, but where Chuba Purdy's at, he carries that weight very well. And I mean, he can still add on to that. So he's only true freshman. Like you said, James Blackman now up to over 200 pounds. So a couple years in Storm's strength and conditioning program, we'll see what happens. I think he can turn quarterbacks into monsters too.
Florida State defensive end. Didn't get to see him play a lot last year, but I'm really eager to keep my eyes on him once fall camp starts because he's been putting a lot of work on his body. Defensive end Quashawn Fuller has gained 10 pounds and is now at 275. He's kind of been fluctuating, so he came in a little bit heavier than that. He lost a lot of weight. Now he's putting on good muscle weight. And I'm actually, that defensive end room still has a little bit of work to do depth-wise, and I'd like to see him kind of get in there in that mix. And I think he's really worked on his body really well. And I think Coach Storms and company have put him in a good plan that's going to set him up for a nice run this upcoming season.
Yeah, like you said, he's looking good, and there's not a ton of depth at defensive end for Florida State this season. So some guys are going to have to emerge, and he's a former 4-star prospect. It could be his time. I mean, last year, like you said, he had some bad weight, trimmed it off, and now he's built back up with some more muscle. And I mean, he could be a guy that's primed to break out.
Mm-hmm. Man, I feel like football's in there. Even though this pandemic thing is coming, man, we're getting weight talk here. We're getting close to fall camp. Like, oh, it feels so good. I just need this thing. I need people to wear their masks. I need to be in Doak Campbell Stadium. I need to be in Atlanta. I need things to start hitting here because I'm excited about seeing these guys out on the field. This one right here, I think a lot of Florida State fans are stoked about. True freshman linebacker. This might be the most impressive one. True freshman linebacker Stephen Dix Junior came into FSU at 210 pounds. As of this update from last week, he is now at 235. He has made an impressive 25-pound gain in a very short time period under Coach Storms and company. And when I say company, too, a lot of these guys that Coach Storm and Norvell have brought on staff are some big cats. Obviously, guy from Ole Miss that they brought, and the Stanford strength and conditioning coach, assistant coach. There's another cat, too, that they just brought in. These are some big cats that are making these guys bigger. But how about this one? 210 to 235, Dustin. This is scary. And I got an image here on Twitter. If you haven't seen it yet, I tweeted it. That is lean muscle. That isn't just fat. That is lean, good muscle. What about this, Dustin?
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. I mean, 25 pounds since January. And you look at some of the other true freshman linebackers that weren't early enrollees. Jayon McCluster, 6'1", 227 pounds, and then DJ Lundy, guy who Nate really loves, 6'1", 244 pounds. That's the guy I was talking about when I'm saying you have middle linebackers that are 250 pounds. That guy's going to be big.
Yeah, that's going to be a big cat. And hasn't there been a little bit of talk of maybe him going to kind of like a fullback route too at some occasions?
Yeah, he played running back in high school, and he was very successful. So we'll just have to see what happens. I mean, Norvell, a very innovative offensive mind, and he'll put guys in positions to make plays. And if DJ Lundy can make a couple plays at fullback, he'll get a couple snaps.
I'll run through these two real quick. FSU defensive end Joshua Kando, obviously veteran there. He's up to 265 from 258. He's always had a good size frame on him. Obviously coming back from a leg injury that kept him out of the season very early on against Virginia. But that's a pretty good size too on him. Up next, freshman defensive end TJ Davis has gained 20 pounds and is now at 270. And then a big time guy here, veteran, your star defensive player for Florida State this upcoming season once again. Defensive tackle Marvin Wilson has lost some more weight. He's lost 5 more pounds and is down to 305. And I put in here in this tweet, it's a good reminder that he came into Florida State at 330. So he's now to 305 from 330 from his freshman year.
And I'd say he looks bigger than he was when he was a true freshman because all that weight has transformed into muscle.
Yeah, no, he's definitely fixed a lot of his torso up, and he might have put a lot more strength down in his legs because he's always had that upper body look. But what's crazy, and we've talked about it before too, Dustin, Marvin Wilson has always, since freshman year, he was at that weight, but he was still the friggin' fastest defensive lineman. So now looking at him coming in at 305 this upcoming season, a potential to just weigh a little bit over 300, that speed is scary to think of.
More speed, more athleticism.
Yeah.
Be a good year for Marvin.
Yeah, it should be. Time to get paid. So yeah, those are some of the updates there. Not the whole team as a whole, but we've heard some things about Keyshawn Helton, who looks fantastic right now. James Blackman's been putting on some weight too. These guys have Coach Storms is doing a fantastic job, and it's like I said, it's not just he brought a good staff around him too. Some very well-respected assistants have come here to Tallahassee, and it seems like they're doing really good. And also, Coach Storms revealed some new equipment that they received. They've been receiving new equipment the last month or so, but the new bars that they got, I think you saw them too, Dustin. Those bars look pretty badass. They look like they're a little bit more look like they're good on your body and a little bit safer for like front squats, deep squats. I saw. Mm-hmm. They're kind of like curved bars definitely for squatting. I say we go in there and get a couple reps. I think Coach Storm should see if he can transform us into like at least like a one series kind of football player.
Might take a little bit.
Yeah, might take a couple of weeks. I was going to ask Jacoby McDaniel if he could give us like an hour to work out with him, Dustin, and we could give our thoughts on it on a podcast. The next episode, like we could, say, hey, we're going to go work out with Jacoby McDaniel, because if you don't follow him on Twitter, he's been working out a ton and whatnot, and he's lost a ton of weight and he's built it into muscle now. I was going to say, Dustin, me and you just go work out with him and give him an hour and see what we got.
I mean, it's worth a shot. Why not?
You want to take that challenge?
I can't tell if you're being serious. Yeah, I'll do it.
I've been thinking about it. I might have to hit him up. I'm ready, Dustin. I'm ready to get after it.
Ready too.
I don't know if you really are, though.
Been working out with some cinder blocks.
I want you to get up before 4 p.m.
Yeah, I got up at 11:30 today, so we're making progress.
That's pretty good. That's pretty impressive. All right, so you guys ready for the top 3 worst segment before we get Luke on here?
Are you ready, Austin?
No, I'm not, actually. Hold on. Go ahead. We're good.
Unbelievable. Okay, good. All right, so top 3 worst pizza toppings. Top 3 worst. At first, I didn't think I had any because I really like any kind of like food, and definitely when it's on pizza. But I remembered really about a few minutes later that, wow, there's some really disgusting things that people have tried doing with me, and I hate it. They've tried putting some complete crap on my pizza. So, Dustin, do you want to start off first, or do you want me to start off first, or Austin?
However you want to do it, man.
I'll go first. Black olives. Get them off my friggin' pizza. Get the black olives off. I don't want that on there. Yes, thank you. I don't want them on there. I don't know why they ruin the taste of like your pizza, like the sauce on there and everything. I don't know how people eat them by themselves anyways. I think they need to be tested. I think they're animals. It's disgusting. And I definitely don't want it to ruin a really good pizza, because you can go out there and some people are, out there, putting some good money towards a good pizza, and then they slap on black olives, and I just don't understand. I will not put on a salad.
What about a sub?
I don't really want it on a sub either. Like that sometimes will ruin my taste. Like unless you're putting sub sauce on it, like I will eat it. I'm not saying I will throw up, but it's just it's the thing that it's going to ruin the taste of it. I'm not going to throw up, but it's just going to ruin it. It just like I am already thinking about it, and I don't. I just have bad memories, I guess. Just shouldn't be put on pizzas.
I've got no worry with that pick.
I don't think anyone will, honestly.
Okay.
It's a pretty easy pick.
Okay, good. All right, number 2, who's up?
I'll go next. I feel like this is another pretty easy choice. Anchovies.
Ugh.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I just don't.
Just the name.
Yeah.
Just the
The
name.
name is already making my stomach twirl.
I mean, do they even cook them, or do they just throw them on there?
It looks like they just throw them on there.
That's
Is
what
it
I'm
fish?
Every time I think anchovies, I
Yeah,
think of the SpongeBob episode where they just 1,000 of them go into the Krusty Krab. And I don't know. It turns me off.
Anchovies are fish. It's like pretty much a whole fish, Logan. They just toss the whole fish on there, but it's small enough where you can just eat the whole fish.
Yeah, like I've
kinda
heard of it, obviously,
scary.
but like I'm looking at.
A picture of it right now. It looks like there's just worms on a pizza.
It looks like beetles are on the pizza to me. Ew. It does look like worms.
Just look nasty.
It looks like my toilet after a couple hours after Whataburger.
All right.
I don't know why you had to. All right.
Not necessary at all.
Ew, I'm looking at it now too. I mean, I like fish, but it looks like it's the cheapest fish you could ever get, like that's put on your pizza.
Bro, if you get anchovies from Papa John's, there's something wrong with you.
Like, where do you think they're getting those anchovies from? Like,
if you start putting
tank?
that order in, you need to look in a mirror and reevaluate what's going on.
Yeah, they're definitely grabbing it from a fish tank in the back, right?
They're just like under a floorboard.
Oh, that's disgusting. I'm looking at them now. Like, I've seen worse and worse pictures, and I'm about to vomit it up right now. I'm about to toss. I'm gonna have to stop. All right, Dustin, you're up next.
I don't know if this one is as cut and dry as your picks were, but I'm gonna say tomatoes. Just because.
Oh, come on.
I don't disagree.
Just because, like, tomatoes aren't even really good when they're not cooked, and then you put them on the pizza and they're all soft and mushy, and you've got tomato sauce. I mean, what do you need a damn tomato for?
Come on now.
And I'm one of those that gets light sauce on the pizza. Like if I go to Blaze.
Yeah. I mean, tomatoes and tomato sauce is just too much. And it doesn't matter if it's a regular tomato or they try and do that bullshit sun-dried tomato. Get out of here.
What, like the grape tomatoes, something like that?
Just the trash tomato, dude. It's all trash.
Like, I'll take like a sliver of tomato on there, like a roasted tomato. I don't know. I don't think it's terrible.
Maybe like a sliver, but if they cut them in like halves and throw them on there, that's way too much.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture now. Definitely if they're like putting